You mentioned this idea of you said it differently, but kind of being stressed out about being stressed out. And I think that's kind of funny, right? Because I think that, I've experienced this in my own life. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm such a head case, right? Oh my gosh, I'm so stressed out. It actually seems to make it exponentially worse. So I think that having the awareness that you're doing that can be helpful. And then this idea of almost giving your mind a break, right? With the mental shortlist, you're giving yourself a break from that kind of thinking and doing it intentionally.
Definitely. And, to your point, when we can almost say to ourselves, like, oh, I'm such a, kind of, as you said, I think head case, about this topic or whatever. There's a way we can adapt the mental shortlist too in other situations related to what you're saying. So there's also times when maybe we have eaten, slept, and breathed a certain case or a certain issue, and we have a cognitive habit of just always thinking about that case or that situation. And up to a point in time, that was even maybe a healthy, helpful cognitive habit when we're, preparing for a case or whatever. And it's just, we have to be mentally revolving around that case. But then when we realize that we've kind of hit a wall with it and we need to pivot onto something else, or maybe the case is over, but we can't stop thinking about it, we can use an adapted way of the mental shortlist as well, which is where we think in advance of five things that we want to think about instead. And that can even be five other business things, like thinking about maybe new cases that we need to think about, ways to drum up new business ventures or networking ideas or whatever. But either way, Elise, in both cases of these mental shortlist use, it's important to think of the five things in advance. You don't try to think of them on the spot, because part of the feature of anxiety is that it narrows our focus. Even physically, it actually narrows our physical vision. That's because of the caveman fight or flight needs, but it narrows our mental vision too. So when we're leaving the office and trying to, get out of the catastrophic thinking, we don't think then, oh, well, what are five positive things? No, what we do is maybe right now, while you're listening to this podcast, you write down the five positive things that you want to think about instead. Or if you know that you're going to get kind of mentally stuck on a case, you write down in advance, what are the five other things that would be good uses of my business mental time, even? And you list them out so that way, when you get that urge to just ruminate on a dead end topic, you have a ready-made list to pivot onto.